Hi everyone. So we have Sasha K and Marielle and Suzanne. Okay, so I just started the recording. Let's check that that's going. Three other Caribbean artists to join me with Philip Thomas, Mafalda Mondestine, and Luigi Savon. They're coming from Jamaica, Martinique, and Haiti. And I thought I would use it as an opportunity to, that residency in particular, to get started on a work that kind of departed from the very solo, individualistic practice that I was having as an artist, and use it as a chance to really do something collaborative. And so we started on a video art project. So those of you that were here at the beginning, I showed a few clips from that. And then as we started working, it was a very short residency, and it just became apparent that maybe the goals of it would be different. It was also, that residency in particular was focused on ecology in the Caribbean. And so we started thinking about history and how, well, for me, I started to understand that self-awareness was really going to be impactful to how we understood the environment. And then that quickly led to a lot of other things, such as looking at just self-inquiry as a whole, because I think we can use art in intimate ways to understand ourselves and the environment in a kind of more holistic way. So these artists also they have a kind of shared interest in Afro-Caribbean figurative work, and they are using the black silhouetted figure, I should say, along with myself. I'm gonna just show a little bit of their work so you understand where some of this comes from. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the composite of all the artists' work that together we came up with. All right, so we have my work here, Mafalda Mondestine's work, and Luigi Savon's work, and Philip Thomas's work. I'm gonna So Luigi is working in silhouetted paper cutouts, and his approach is the mystical and also kind of gender fluid interpretations and representations.
Sorry, Oneika, I'm not
Yes.
seeing.
Luigi's work. And he really combines performance as well with these large drawings. All right, is that visible? This one is visible, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, so there's that. And then we go into Mafalda's work. This is from an animated GIF that she made. So you can see that we do have a kind of shared aesthetic that I was identifying. And for her work is about, one of the statements she made is that she wants to tell the story of the situation in Haiti and how the women can gather in the forest, in nature, and probably solve some of these problems to find liberation in a new way for Haiti. So let's look at Philip Thomas's work. Right, so Philip had in his discussions with him, he talked about the concern of the kind of contemporary urban black figure, particular male figure, and that kind of identity moving between a history and a future. I'll show you another one. And when we get to working with the cards, you're gonna see where these images on the cards come from. So this is a digital collage that Philip worked on as well, with the kind of iconography of the continuing state of colonial thinking. And I'll show you some of my work now. So these are some works I have not really exhibited, but they are part of a process of me photographing and then using this as source for my my videos and collages, etc. All right, and here's another example with the figure going through. This is from a series called Myth, which the figure goes through these various kind of visual experiences. And I'll show the last one here. Okay, so this work also was exhibited this summer, and this is one of the first in the Myth series. So just to give you an idea of where the card deck comes from. All right. All right, so for this workshop, what I want to do is to have us go through, I'm going to take you through 2 to 3 of exercises that we can do with the cards. And hopefully at the end of it, I want it to be interactive, so I want you to share. I hope you, if you do feel comfortable sharing, please do. All right, and let's get going. So, all right, here we have, let me get my mouse out of the way, a personal storytelling tool, right? It's 11, it is 11 question cards to accompany, let's see if I can, is that visible? Yeah, I think so, okay. It's 11 question cards, so it's like going through from 1 to 11. In any one session, I don't recommend going through 1 to 11 because they are pretty kind of, let's say stern, strict, or kind of harsh questions sometimes if you are in a delicate state. I have done a session and someone really told me that they couldn't continue. So the intention is not to create strife, but the intention is to really ask yourself some questions that maybe we have never asked ourselves before, and hopefully maybe just one question at a time over a period of time you can come up with a kind of sense of who you are and what you want to do and have a new understanding. All right, so I'm going to just flip through so we can see some of the imagery here. All right, so you're going to connect to what we were looking at with Luigi's work, some of my work, and then some of the research that was done in this residency focusing on ecology, and particularly to do with marine life, with Sargasso in the Caribbean. And okay, so I'm doing this so you can be familiarized with the imagery, so that once we get going, you will have kind of not the shock of what the imagery is. It is a little bit, they vary from the abstract to like highly abstract to traces of images, for the purpose of allowing you to connect on your own. So you may not necessarily look at that image. For example, this one is a little bit, I think, more representational, or maybe easier to recognize. It's mixed with some abstract, some more kind of easily recognizable images so that you can really construct a story which is nuanced. So the idea is that with these 41 cards, you have snippets of images, bits and pieces that you can use to put together for different reasons. And so when I was coming up with some of the exercises, one of the things I wanted to really encourage is self-awareness and mindfulness, and also the idea of self-inquiry is that it allows for self-discovery, right? So you start to understand things, maybe things about the way that you think or you receive information, or the way that you kind of perform in the public space automatically without thinking about it. And so the idea is that through the cards you can hopefully see something. And I think I was mentioning in another session I was in before that for Uniarte that the reason I started with this is that I had never really, I think in the Caribbean, cards are a big part, card playing, they're a big part of our culture growing up as kids, but I don't think you really see yourself in it. And for those of you that do, that use cards for like self-help or any kind of other things like divination, it's very rare to have a Afro-Caribbean, much less an Afro type of imagery. So I thought I would use the work of these 4 artists to come up with something that we could work with. All right, so let's go through. I'm not sure how clear that is. Yeah, okay. All right, so hopefully there is an idea. A lot of these images are combined. All right, so we're gonna get into the first exercise. Do you all have paper, pencil? You can use a journal. I have my journal. I have just like a, flashcard paper and pencil. So, all right. So the first thing I'm gonna do, just so that we get warmed up, is I am going to choose 3 cards for you, and you can choose to write or draw depending on what you feel more comfortable with. And we're also I'm going to walk you through question cards 1 to 6. We won't do 6 to 12. I think at the end of that you would be exhausted. So let's go. All right, so let me get a variety for you. All right, so I think this is one of the more recognizable images in the deck. Is that visible? All right, so that's the first one. Let's choose another one. And if you see one while I'm choosing and you want that one, let me know. Okay, I'm gonna choose this one. This one? Other one? Yes. Okay. We were thinking the same thing. All right. Let me keep going. Okay, I think I'm gonna choose this one. All right, so we have 3 cards. Please look and Yeah. I'm gonna give you like 2 minutes to look, and one of the things that you can think about when you're looking about it at the cards is beginning, middle, end. So one of these can represent a beginning, a middle, and an end. Or you can think of a past, a present, or a future. Or you can think of any other combination of three, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, you, me, we, whatever you like. All right, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to just look at it, and then we're going to get into the questions.
Sorry, could you move the white one a bit more?
This
So
one.
it's visible? Yeah.
Okay. Is that better?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
What exactly should I be thinking about?
I think
Like,
think about, well, one of the things you could do is you could look at each image. You can think about what that image reminds you of. That's a really good question. What does it remind you of? Maybe it brings up certain words. Maybe it brings up an emotion that you've had, or maybe it reminds you of something you've seen, a story. It's really up to you, but I think make it personal and make it about your experience.
yeah,
Does that help?
yeah.
All right, great. All right, so I'll give you a little bit more. All right, so let's start. So the first card, I already did this for you, so I chose 2 to 3 cards for you, and I would you like me to arrange them in an order? Does anybody have a suggestion as to how they might want this to go? I mean, does this make sense for you in that order?
For me, it makes total sense in that order.
It makes total sense. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead with that then. All right, so the third card here is, I want you to tell the story of your cards. So you could give yourself a couple sentences, maybe 3, a paragraph, whatever you like.
And just write that down.
Yeah, write or draw, depends on what you prefer. Okay, how are you all doing? Yeah, you good? All right, so I'm gonna share mine first, my little sentence that I came up with, and then I'd love to hear everybody's, or see a drawing or whatever it is that you have. If you're not comfortable sharing your camera, that's fine. Voice alone is fine. All right, so mine, I thought, okay, it's like, I thought this is my subject here, and these are the things that she wants to, like, these are ambitions. So I said, okay, a woman is in control. Like, she's a very controlled person, but she dreams about flying and being free. But there's things that worry her, that stop her. So I'm seeing that as, like, this is what she wants to be, but, like, that's the things that get in the way. And so that's my sentence, but your sentence could look very different. I'd love to hear who would like to share.
I can go because
Yeah.
mine is slightly, well, probably really different. I just have lady sits confidently on a throne. Something happens, she's taken away, or she falls asleep, drifts away, loses her solidity. That's the second one, the second card. Becomes disguised amidst other floating detritus. That's the third. Scattered, disordered, soon to be reassembled.
Wow, yeah. Okay, so Mathilde is joining. Hi, Mathilde. How are you? I think you're on mute. Let me unmute you.
Oh, just saying hello, everybody.
Oh, did I mute you again? Please, please unmute yourself. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, so we were just in the middle of the first exercise. So we chose three cards, and Camille was sharing her story or her collection of words, and I like that. So it seems like at the end of this, there's like kind of a lot of story that can come. It's like the beginning of a story. All right, so I like that. Yeah. What about you, Sasha K?
Okay. I wasn't finished thinking, but I can tell you. So I wrote, I saw myself in the first image.
Mm-hmm.
I just, because the first time I saw something like that was when I started making spiritual work. And I wrote, I saw myself in the first image elevating above self. But due to her aura, and I didn't write anything else.
Okay. No, that sounds. You should keep going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I like that. So this is like a spiritual it's like a
Yeah.
spiritual passage or something. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Who else wants to share?
I can pronoun.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Sana.
Okay. I contemplate my life as I've lived it. It will take courage to make a new one. I leap from my comfort zone into a new reality. At my core, I am still the same, but now I see the world differently. I float through the reeds. That's it.
Wow, so beautiful. That's amazing. No, I love that just that these three arrangements. I was hoping that it made sense to you, but I'm glad that there's like something coming through. Yeah, okay. Who else?
So I have for the first one, sitting comfortably. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Comfortably.
Yeah.
Comfortably in my comfort zone. The second one is coming out, getting a chance to fly experience. Then the third one is process difficulty, flying through obstacles.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Sounds like everybody's like seeing the obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I go now?
Yes, yes, Suzanne, yes.
All right, so I didn't really separate them. I just went from one into the other, I think. All right, so I wrote sitting in limbo, surrounded by a false sense of security, flight, false sense of freedom and independence, no emancipation, none in sight.
Wow, yeah. That's really interesting how everybody has a story which is pinned to the same thing, but it's almost like it's personalized from your perspective. And so that's one of the things that I found interesting with working with images like this is that it's always going to be subjective. And so it's like something to pay attention to. What Sasha K came up with and what Sana came up with and Suzanne, for example, it's something to take note of, even a sentence to say, okay, well, this is a revelation about maybe something or a concern for me. And what I would love to just consider, I'll give you maybe a minute to do that, is if we change the order. So what if we started here, right? Just as we can in life, and let's say we put that there, we just put that there. I give you a minute and I'd love to hear your thoughts about what that story could be. I feel like this whole thing is not on the camera. Is it being shown? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of cut off for me, but
Oh,
I'm not sure why.
let's see.
Because I should
I'm
be
gonna
able to see it.
You can pin her that specific screen so it can get bigger.
All right.
Okay. Okay, whenever you're ready, let me know.
I think I think I got influenced by your story, Oneika. So it's like the beginning is kind of being entrapped. Then the yeah, the second one is like a contemplation of how to then liberate, which is the last one.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I didn't even realize it, but actually, the source imagery for these three it comes from Mafalda Mondestine's work, and her work is all about liberation. So it's almost like you can't escape that. It's built into the image, the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Something is about the order because when you put that figure, the first one, the figure that is in the middle now, in the beginning, then you see, well, this is the beginning, then so something has to go better or worse. And then you choose which way you go. But that figure, anyway, whatever you put it, it's about power.
Yes.
She's not just in a comfortable zone. I don't see like this. She's power.
Yeah.
She's sitting in a powerful position, and then you have all those things lighting around, maybe aura, maybe people lighting them with her own light going. It's about power.
Yes.
And this is so we can put it in the beginning or in the end or in the middle. This figure is about power. So
Well, that's
I
great.
can say this. I can say, wow, a story like this, like you were in a. This can be other things than obstacles too. It's just the world that it is. You in the world as it is. With
Yeah.
all the information the world is with you.
Yes. So
You
not
will have
not necessarily obstacles here, but more like
Just the
information.
information, things, people, things you interact with. It's about this, and the other one is definitively about flying free.
Yeah.
It's sure she's flying free, or it could be falling down.
That's true. That's true. That's one
I
way to
choose
look.
be flying.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would say that in the story you are flying free,
You know,
but you're not free of the world. The world is still there, but you fly.
I did a session once and somebody turned the cards. I didn't even think of this. Turned the cards this way. And I saw like a different thing completely. And what you said, Mathilde, just reminded me of that. You know, the falling, perhaps,
Yeah.
or you know. So
Yeah, that one's falling hard.
exactly right. You determine the way you feel and the story that you want to tell. Turn it the way you like. All right. So we have from Mathilde saying power. Okay. What else? Any other perspectives on this? All right, I'm going to share mine. So I thought, okay, in this position, it's leaving behind cares. I become the ruler of my world and I find the freedom. But it's really interesting that you point out that, yes, you can make the order you like. And what's interesting is that for you, the card can have a meaning that you invent, you create it. Because for some, this could be, about control, about, as Mathilde mentioned, power, but this one could be about falling, and depending on how fast you're falling, how much of a feeling. All right, so we're gonna get there. All right, so that was the first warm-up exercise. Let's get into choosing some cards. So I'm gonna ask, one person. I'm gonna flip through. I'm gonna give one person the ability to choose 3 cards for the whole group, and we're gonna try it that way. So who would like to do that? Vesuhely? Okay. All right. All right, so you just tell me which ones, as I'm flipping through, which ones to pull out.
This one.
This one?
No, the other one.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
This one.
Okay.
I think I like this
This
one.
one? Okay.
The other one. The other one.
This one here.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, so what about the order? Is that order fine? Do you want it to change?
Can we put the last one first and
Yeah.
the first one last? So the
First
one in
one?
the middle now last. Yeah.
Last. Okay, how's that? All right, so
I think it's good.
okay, good. All right, so I would love you all now to reflect on the story that you think Vesuhely is picking up on and telling. So I'd love to hear your story, Vesuhely, why you chose this. I'm gonna give you 2-3 minutes, and I would love to hear everybody else's story, and I'll write mine as well. Okay. So, is everybody ready, or you need a little bit more time?
Ready?
Okay. All right. I will let the chooser lead with their story, or shall we? No, let's start with everybody else's story and then end up and see what the main story was. Yeah. So, who wants to start?
I'll go.
Okay.
I just have, it's okay to get up, face the day, face the light, put things in order, they'll come back later. Because the first image looks like, well, to me it looks like someone bent over on their knees. That's what
Okay.
I interpreted it as, so that's why I get up. It's okay to get up.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, face the day, face the light. The person is kind of looking towards a lighter side. And then the last one, put things in order, they'll come back later. It looked kind of chaotic, but then at the end of the time, I realized that it looks like a little figure that's kind of like waving,
Yeah.
coming out of the scene.
Yes.
So that was it.
Okay. That's like a really kind of affirmative message coming out of that. Yeah. All right. So I guess maybe I'll share, and then we'll do sign off.
Alright.
So there's a space which someone came from to help untangle me. I was in a place where I needed that help because I don't want to return there. So, okay. I think it's a little bit heavier. All right, so let's hear your Sana.
So like Camille, I saw someone on their knees, so mine says, on my knees, stand to touch the confusion. The scorpion awaits the moment to strike. So I'm seeing a little scorpion tail in the third one.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Interesting. All right, so let's see, Mathilde.
Yes, I begin to write, then I did not wrote so it entirely, but for me the first is a place to like you, so that's the land I came from. It's the fragment, that's the bubble of the earth. the place I came from, is still and standing. And by the end, I fall apart into teeny pieces again.
It's a story of yours is like a voyage. It's like a journey, right?
And
Yeah.
he's falling, yeah, he's
Yeah.
falling from this,
Yeah.
but he's falling from the earth, so I don't know where he can fall.
Ah.
Because
Feel like
the
falling.
place he came from is the earth.
Interesting. But this says my internet connection is stable, so unstable. So let me know if I chip out at any point. But both your stories are with falling. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So
True.
yeah, Suzanne or who else is
Okay.
here? Sasha. Yeah.
I think mine might be really, I don't know. Let me just
No,
see.
it's fine.
All right. So the first one for me felt like an incident, and the second one, a woman unscathed, seemingly unscathed by this or surviving this incident, and the same woman catching a lifeline.
Oh, so like a positive outturn. It starts off. It starts out. I feel like maybe that's picking up on the society. Like news
Yeah.
and all that's happening around us. So I like that. Like just looking at the images, it shows like how much something like current events can just like seep in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Is there anybody else who didn't share or you want to share? Okay.
Me?
Yes. Yes. The main person. The main story.
I wrote, after moments of pleasure, he leaves. It gets fuzzy. He doesn't love me.
Okay. A love story. That's interesting. That tells something, huh? Yeah, that's interesting because, yeah, some people have, well, a couple of you have, three of you have seen a person lying. Then you've identified this as a gendered figure, so that's interesting as well. And then some kind of emotion in that. That's I kind of taking it like that step further. All right, so let's hear from you, Vesuhely.
I have something completely different.
It's your story. It's fine.
Okay, so I have on the inside, I wish the wall could feel our warmth playing hide and seek. I wish the wall could feel our love while decorating it with beautiful drawings.
Okay, so it's like a composite. It's like the feeling of everything. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good way to go about it. You're not doing like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a nice way. It's like a whole, which is true. The story is a whole rather than sometimes like 1, 2, 3. All right, so I think that is it for the exercise 1 part 2. And so what I want to do now is we have been looking at like an individual story, individual perspectives. So I want to use this card deck to think about a kind of collective story now, and let's see if we can all kind of contribute or kind of feeling so that we can get a picture of what maybe a group would be thinking about. So one of the things, I have some things that we can think about. So there's a lot that's been happening over the last 2 years that has even led to something like a digital workshop about storytelling to do with this, the way that the world has changed. And that surely has produced in each of us a different response depending on the jobs that we do, the career, the personal lives that we have, the things that changed for us. And so that might be the first thing that we could think about. I'm going to ask each person each of you that's comfortable, to choose one card, and we'll put it on the table as a kind of group picture of what we're all thinking about. All right. So I have you in order on my screen from Sana, and then I finished, so I'm going to start in that order. Okay, so this is upside down. Yeah, some of these are upside down. Okay. Please choose one. I'm gonna flip through for you. And then choose one that reflects something you feel you wanted to say about the way that the world has been over the last 2 years, or something that you feel based on that. Yeah.
I'll take the very first card that you had.
Okay, all right. You know what, that might actually be a more efficient way, is if I'm going through and anybody sees it, you just tell me. Yeah, just let me know which ones you want. All right.
Oneika, I'm okay with that.
This one?
Yeah.
That's Sasha's card. I think I'm gonna take this card. Yeah. Okay.
That one.
This one? Okay. For you, Suzanne. Okay.
Okay,
This one. Okay, now go ahead.
This one? Two people want this one?
No, but I'll wait for another one.
Okay.
That's so interesting.
Wait, I feel like my camera stopped.
No, I'm still seeing.
Okay, all right. Okay, no more choices.
That's it?
No, there's more. There's more. There's a few more. This
Okay,
one?
I can take this one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. That's gonna be an interesting image when we put them all together. That one is upside down. Okay. All right. So let's see what we have. We have, let me just make this screen bigger. Yeah, okay. Okay, I want to know like where to fit these on the screen. Yeah, let's pop these off a little bit.
I think you're moving them in the wrong direction.
You can see?
Yeah, that direction, yeah. That's
Okay. All right, so does this order work? Is there another order that you would vote for? All right, let's put it, let me try some orders and then you can let me know what you like.
And they put the one in the bottom left at number 4 at the top. No,
Okay.
that the one to the left of that.
Okay, at number
Yeah.
4 here.
Right.
Okay, and then put this one down here.
Why don't you make 3 and 3? Maybe we'll see better.
Okay. All right.
You have normally you have 6 cards there.
I think I don't know, my screen is like showing some of it cut off. Are you able to see?
Now in right side you have a lot of place, and we cannot see the first ones. I can
Okay,
see.
okay.
Yes, better. For me, it's better.
Let me I'm gonna zoom up. Yeah. Okay, that might be better. Okay, how's that? All right, so if we settle on this placement, I would love us to take 2 minutes to look at the whole picture and reflect on what you think the feeling of the whole group is. Like, what is each person feeling when they put this, or thinking? What was the experience for each person during these 2 years that you're seeing in this picture? So we can get an understanding of maybe what everybody is feeling. Okay, so we can check in now. What did everybody come up with in terms of what people are thinking or experiencing? All right, I will go first then. I said, I think people feel dazed and tired and maybe just befuddled about what happened. There is some moment of recognition where we come to terms with things, but the problem remains. We understand people in a new way. It has been such a head trip. You know, I'm looking at this one and I'm just thinking like head trip. Anyway, so yeah, who else wants to like share a perspective?
I guess I have something similar. I just put like keywords, not as much as a sentence, but just keywords.
Yeah.
Open eyes, united, division, lost, questions, help, lie, define, believe, belong together, stronger bond. We see what is important.
Yeah. Okay. That's like a good understanding of like what people are going through. At least, it'd be good to compare at the end to see everybody. Anybody else?
I don't know, mine is coming out like poetry. I don't know why. Anyway,
Because you're poetic.
uncertainty looms and fills us up with barbed wires, and the turmoil burrows into our insides. The discomfort points us back to self, where we must find our place in the world.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like that. And I like how everybody is coming up with their own way to put something into some meaning. So keywords and poetry, and then some jumble of sentences. Anybody else?
Yeah. Oh. I just have the virus came, we locked ourselves inside, developed new hobbies, new concerns about the environment. But still, things remain the same. The Zoom meetings, online, no face to face, and the weight of the emptiness and isolation.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I see that I noticed that both like two people chose a card where there's a lot of white space. So it's either someone is feeling really weighed down, as you were talking about, Camille, and someone is feeling, I don't know, quite tight. I don't know. So yeah, Mathilde?
Yeah, I just had some keywords too, and it was dreaming, because we both choose that cards with stars, dreaming, isolated, of course, and feeling deep, because I think this thing with the stars are feeling very deep things, and blue, feeling blue, also is almost about that. You feel so blue, but at the same time you feel so deep, and you can dream a lot.
Yes.
It is a good thing.
Yes, I think this period has allowed a lot of us to dream, potentially, yeah. Okay, so is that it, or does anybody else want to say anything before we move on? Okay, all right. So what I would invite you to do at this point is, if you could put all of this into a little doodle or a sketch, I invite you to do that. So it doesn't have to be a wonderful drawing. It doesn't have to be with figures. It's just a representation of the composite feeling that you have. Okay, so I already have my drawing on the table here. Looks like not much. It looks like a confused mess, but what I saw is that I felt like it was like blessing and something not great as well. It's like rain falling, and it's like so much that it's spilling over, but it's also creating like a fracture. And so this is a kind of composite of all of that in the few minutes. I love to see, if you feel comfortable, to share what you have. Okay, you could do, yeah, you could hold up your drawing. I'm going to take a screenshot of everybody's. Okay, let's go. Let me hold mine up. Okay, there we go. Wow, some lovely drawings. We have Suzanne doing like a continuation card. That's great. It's like a continuation to this one. And Mathilde, I didn't see yours. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's it's like this one, but it's like it's very what do I say, cosmic feeling, almost like astrological. And Camille, I didn't see yours. Yeah. Okay, so it's like compartments, a lot of weight. Yes. Yes, masks. You do this, you don't do that. There's like a whole storyboard, a whole extra set of stories there. Interesting. Sana, did you have one to share as well?
Yeah, weird little doodle. I don't even know what it is.
It's fine, look at mine. Wow, okay, so like it's like something is in flight though. It's like it has something has, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like something has birthed something, and there's some flight. I don't know, how would you describe it?
I don't know. I was starting with the barbed wire feeling, and then I don't know what happened.
And what about you, Vesuhely? Ah, okay, so like this feeling, it's like inside. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like you feel like a lot of are you in this? Are you the person in this? Oh, let me unmute your mic.
I said, I think we all are.
Ah, okay.
In this.
Everybody feels like there's something, some direction or focus on us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
human beings, and how we're gonna deal with everything that is coming our way, because I don't think this is the end, or that it's going to be, this moment and then it's gone.
Yes.
So I think it's like a huge spotlight on us as human beings, and if we're gonna choose to be, care for each other, or if we're gonna choose to not care for each other.
Okay. So it's like the time has come.
I mean, not that drastic, but yeah, anyway.
Okay. All right. That was great. I love seeing the drawings, and I mean, mine is like an unrecognizable thing. But I'm gonna go into, I thought those exercises were really good. It was nice seeing talents and things that I didn't know, that people I've known for a long time had. So I'm gonna just show you another way that you can use these cards as a part of this workshop before we segue into the real point of this, which is if you also want to use these cards for yourself, or you want to use it to make your own workshop, because the point of this work is not just that it's an artifact of my studio practice, but I want it to become a wider thing, and I think it has the potential to be multiplied and used in various ways. And so the first one I'm going to do is, if you already have your own set of cards, so for example, I have a deck here that I bought on Amazon. It just identifies like feelings, right? It's a good tool to help you process emotions. And so one of the ways I use it is, let's say I go through, and let's say today I'm feeling frustrated. one of the ways that this could work is without, sometimes you have a feeling and you don't quite know how to explain it, is I could go through and think, okay, which one do I feel like, and like, okay, I feel like it's this one. And then I can identify, okay, if there is somebody else involved in this situation, what do I think that person was feeling? Maybe that person is feeling something like this, in this frustrating situation. And also it can help me to understand, okay, well, I felt like this. I can visualize it in a way, and it helps me to create empathy for the other person, which is really the kind of self-reflective part. And so then I can say, okay, what does this situation need for me to like have a solution? And let's say maybe I am gonna do this, which is like, okay, so for me this could mean, okay, I felt like a tight ball of frustration, and this person probably felt like I was pulling at their strings, and so maybe we both need to look at what happened with this particular situation. So that's one of the ways I use it, and I thought I would just share that because if you do want to organize your own workshop using these cards, I'm coming up with, like, I've written a guidebook for it. Now it's available. I'm gonna drop the link here, but I am, because of the request of various people, I am going to be developing a larger guidebook that can be printed. And so my hope is that if any of you hope to use this tool, either for yourself or with others, that there's also going to be a site. And I want to thank Matilde for sharing about the Museu de Pessoa in Brazil. That really helped to inspire this parts of this project, is to share your story as well, to share the documentation that you do with people, with yourself. There is a site that I have now. Let me just share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, so on my website, you can go to current. It's Oneika Russell. Okay, OneikaRussell.net. Yeah, okay. There's a page dedicated to it, and you can find out more information. You can see some of the ways it's been used. And also, if you are interested in organizing your own workshop, what my hope is that some of this documentation would exist on this site for everyone to kind of share. And there's also I have a YouTube channel, so whatever information would be collected in that space. And so you would need only message me. I'm going to drop my email here, and I'm going to also drop the link for that. And also, if you have feedback, so did you enjoy this workshop? Did you think that this part needs some work? What would you recommend, and how would you also use it in your own practice? I know each of you some of you are teachers, some of you are your parents. How would you use it? And do you have any information for me? No. Any feedback? Anything you want to say?
Well, first of all, thank you, because it's a beautiful idea to share this. This evening we are having we'll have a vernissage of the Homo Sargassum project again
Okay.
with the things we had for Camila and for Oneika. And I did not put the cards because I did not really know exactly how you're using. But I think in the next time we'll have something. I ask you to send the cards entirely and make the use like this.
Okay.
Also, I found this interesting to do. And I just think about one thing. I teach history and images at the university here for historians,
Yes.
young historians. And I think I'm going to use something like that.
Okay.
Because it's about history and images, and maybe I will make the work on history, but with this kind of things, I just have that idea now. And looking at it, I think this can go with my practice as a teacher too.
Thank you, Mathilde. I didn't. Yeah, I saw some of your photos online. I didn't realize it was happening this evening.
What?
I was saying I saw some of your photos. I didn't realize it was happening today. Yes.
Today we have the vernissage, the opening, and it's we did artist residency in which Oneika and Camilla participated by remote, and we were in Martinique with other artists, 5 artists from Martinique and 4 from Jamaica in remote, and we did a restitution of the residency with those things. And there is a new place into the port of Fort-de-France, into the port, in the middle of the port, which is a shared space for younger people in business, all kind of business. So it's a shared space for work and things like that. And so I put the exhibition there, and I think we managed to do a very beautiful thing. I'll send you the pictures.
Yes.
And,
Congratulations.
And, we could not use everything. I choose not to use your videos because it was I only have 2 places for the videos, and the video were really the videos from artistic residency, where we need some explanation to understand. I mean, to see the process, especially Oneika with the cards, explain how to use the cards and everything.
Yeah.
But I kept the photos, so the photos of the work of Camilla and your big photo. I kept them. So they're there, and Jordan and Shelton too. So I'll send pictures. It's going to be nice, I think.
Thank you, Mathilde. For everyone else, Mathilde was our kind of curator or consultant curator for the residency, and she saw this idea from the beginning, and so is there any other feedback that you have for me, or any other way that you could envision using it? And if you want to think on it some more, you can also email me.
I have a thought. It seems to be, I don't know if you intended it to be this kind of self-reflective tool.
Yeah.
But it kind of, I don't know, my response to it was go inwards. I don't know if that is one, the intention, and 2, if that is how you've seen others as you've been doing the workshops, if that's how people have been responding to it.
That is the most interesting, because actually how this started was during when COVID started, I did take it very hard because I stopped teaching. I was a part-time teacher. I was working a lot, and so I had to find something to kind of help coach myself through this process. And so I started looking at these kind of self-reflective cards, as you call them, online. And I was working on the residency at the time, and so really these cards came out of, okay, I think that the project I'm working on with these artists could not only be reflective for yourself, but you can talk about, through the reflection, you can find out about history, because if you are nothing if not your history as well, and your environment. And so I really intended it as a set of cards for myself, and I thought, okay, maybe I can use it with 1 or 2 other people. I remember inviting Camille to use it with me, but that didn't happen because of time constraints, but um, I did some engagements while I was away in the summer, and it was interesting. Most people there in the US asked me about using it for groups, which is kind of how this workshop came about. So I was using it for self reflection, the way you described, Sana, but um, there's a various set of people that wanted to use it in online workshops. So, I found that everybody, depending on their needs, or their particular, orientation, sees it in a different way. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So another thing that I think I would mention is that I frequently use it for journaling as well. So the way that we have come up with stories here is, you can start with an arrangement of stories, and then create your own story. And then from that story, you can kind of break it down, like, why am I coming up with this idea of someone being trapped, or why am I coming up with this idea of someone needing to fly? Um, my hope is that it will spawn many workshops with many different people, and we can have all those stories archived on the site. So do keep in touch, and email me if you do want the link to look at either group workshops or one-on-one sessions, or to access the card tool. Then do for free, for sure, email me. And I really enjoyed meeting with you all today. It was really good. Any last words before I go?
Yes, because I think this is a really beautiful project, and I think it could be something that could help a lot of people, um, in the sense of reflecting. Have you ever thought, and also working on yourself, not only reflecting and letting it stay at reflecting, but going deeper and trying to fix these things about yourself. And I thought that you maybe think about doing a collaboration with a psychologist or something like that. So, like, for example, images are things that really help children, for example. So it could be interesting to work with a child psychologist and see how these images could could maybe speak to children in a different way that it speaks to us as adults or young adults. Um, and see if there's something, because I see art as a way of healing for myself, like it's therapy for myself. And I try to make my art also therapy for other people. So and maybe that's why I think of it in this way. And I think this is a very beautiful project that could help a lot of people in that sense.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned that because one of the engagements that we had in the summer, that person is waiting on the cards to be launched to share it with a group of psychologists. So I think they spotted that. I didn't necessarily think about that, but I can see how you can use it representationally with children. And that is my hope, that really it's to take art from the art space into personal and intimate usages so that it's much more impactful and meaningful. Yeah, so thank you all. I hope this was recorded. I'm not using Zoom, so I really hope it's recorded. Yeah. But thank you for spending your Saturday with me.
Thank you too.
No problem.
Thank you too. Great experience.
Thank you, Suzanne. It's been so long I've seen you.
I know. And this workshop it has been really good. Well needed escape and departure from, you know.
Yeah, from day-to-day life. Yeah. Thank you all. All right, I'm gonna Go, and if you I should have asked you to share your email, but I have everybody's email in this group, I think. Yeah, I think so. So that's okay. Email me if you have anything that you need to. Yeah. All right.
By the way, it is recording. It shows on top, so you're good.
Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad. All right. Take care.
All right, bye, Oneika.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.